Hello everyone, I'm back again, and today I'm going to give my thoughts on the Sorc skills and passives. So we're going to start off in the dark magic tree here. And we're going to talk about the ultimate, which is negate magic. Now, before I continue any further, I will go say this is mostly for PvP stuff. I haven't done a whole lot of PvE and dungeons and stuff on my Sorc, so I'm still not 100% sure about all that. But this is mostly going to be PvP. So, with that, negate magic. Actually, I kind of like negate magic. I think it's a pretty good skill. I think both the morphs on it. I'm not sure which one I like better or which one's better. There might be like an obviously better one, but I haven't really messed around with it that much to know. But the few times I've used it, it seemed pretty good. I know this ability is really good in PvE also, so pretty good ultimate. So first off, first ability. Probably the first ability that I think of when I think of Sorcs 2, and that is Crystal Frack. Nobody calls it Crystal Shard. Nobody calls it Crystal Blast. Nobody cares about those abilities because this is Crystal Frack. Just as soon as you get it morphed, just go to Crystal Frag. You won't regret it. It's a great ability. It hits really, really hard. I don't have that great stats on this Sorc, and it still does 9,000 magic damage. It's pretty crazy. So, yes, just get Crystal Frag. Next we got Encase. This is a decent ability. It's pretty good on the overload. If you use it on a overload bar or early, it'll help you escape. Especially since early you won't have streak or anything to escape really. So it's pretty good for that. It will immobilize enemies. Now for the morph of it, once again, I'm still not sure which one I like better. I didn't use this ability a whole lot. I only really used it on the overload bar if I was trying to escape early on. But I don't really use it anymore. So next we got Rune Prison. This is also an ability I have not used a lot, as you can tell. Although I think this ability is okay. It has an issue of it'll imprison an enemy, so they can't really do anything for a while. But if they take damage, or if they just break out of it, you know, it's whatever. There's one that one of the morphs won't break them out of it if they are taking dot damage. So you might be able to do something, crazy with that. Although once again, they could just break out of it themselves if they got stamina. I personally, if you're gonna use this ability, I would go defensive rune because it'll make the next enemy that attacks you. It'll put this debuff on them, so it'll imprison them. I actually think that could be pretty good. I'll definitely use it for like maybe for early ability. I definitely would not use this ability late game. Then we got Dark Exchange, the somewhat healing skill for Sorcs, I guess. I don't like this ability a whole lot. It's not that great. You just trade stamina for health and magicka. Now, one thing you can do with this skill, I think it's about the only thing you really do with it, in all honesty, besides just having it as a healing skill early on, is morphing it to Dark Deal, which will make you use your magicka to turn it into health and stamina. And you can use this to help get stamina back to run away from really bad situations, especially with lightning form, which we'll go over that in a minute. I've done it before. It's got me out of bad situations before I got streaks, so it's definitely viable. I just don't like this ability very much. I don't think it's that great. But we're going to go to an ability that I do love, and that's Daedric Minefield. You definitely don't want the Daedric 2 morph for this. Just get Daedric Minefield. This is a PvP ability. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody ever run this in PvE. So Daedric Tomb is pretty pointless. Just get Daedric Minefield. This is going to be the ability that will help you keep Night Blades off of you. Because the last thing a Magicka Sorc wants is a Night Blade all over them in melee range. They don't want anybody in melee range, in all honesty. And this is going to help you with that. So definitely take Daedric Mines if you are a Magic Sorc. Now talk about some of the passives. First one is Unholy Knowledge, which is pretty good. It's just going to reduce the cost of magic and stamina abilities. Blood Magic will heal you for 8% of your max health when you hit someone with a Dark Magic ability, which, it's nice. This just increases the duration of Dark Magic abilities, which is fine. And then this one, which I don't have tier 2 yet, but You activate a dark magic ability, it's going to give you minor prophecy, so you get more, spell crit, which is also pretty good. So that's the dark magic tree. Next, we're going to go to Daedric summoning, and we're going to talk about the Storm Atronach, or as me and my friend Liz to call them, astronauts. So the Storm Astronaut here, he's very good in PvP and PvE. I've definitely won some fights just because my Storm Astronaut was there, and they just decided to stay in range of him. He will also stun enemies if he lands on them when he comes in. Does pretty good bit of damage. He has a synergy ability that you can cast if you have someone with you. Now, personally, I think both morphs are good. I think one of them is the Charged Atronach is probably more of a PvE ability, and this Greater Storm Astronaut is probably more of a PvP one. But I personally just like the Greater Storm Atronach just for both situations anyway. I think it's really good. Also in PvP, it's funny because you can just hide behind your Atronach, especially if you don't have your Daedric Mind yet. And it's really funny watching Nightblades ambush your astronaut. So next we're going to talk about Unstable Familiar. So, pet builds. Don't see it often. They're not really that great. Kind of makes me sad because I really kind of want to do one. Just try to make it work. And I'm going to do that one day. But, now, with that being said, you can make a pet build work. It's a lot harder to make work. But I know there are people out there that have pet builds that work. You just don't see them very often. And they're kind of difficult to play. You have to hope that your pet actually cooperates with you and attacks the person that you want them to attack. And I think they are actually be pretty good for a 1v1 situation. With that being said, I think Volatile Familiar is the better morph, just because it'll explode and deal damage and stun enemies when you call it back, which is pretty good, or if it dies. But I personally like the Clanfer better. It's definitely probably better early on because you won't really have a good way to heal unless you're running a Resto Staff at the beginning of the game, and you can just unsummon your Clanfer and you'll get healed. But especially early on, he can tank a lot of damage. And that will be pretty useful for you to have something to tank the damage for you early on. So next we got Curse. I'm going to let you know, I don't know how to say that first word there. I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. I don't know how to say it. I'm just going to call it Curse. And this ability is actually very good. This ability that you want to time the rest of your burst with. So like if you get a inevitable detonation or either one of the morphs, you could put that on them. You could put Curse on them, just time it for when they explode and throw a crystal frag at them, and they're probably dead, in all honesty. It's a nice ability, it does a lot of damage. Just remember to just try to time this with the crystal frag right when it explodes, because they're going to take a lot of damage. They're not going to be expecting and they'll probably be knocked down. They won't really have time to heal it back up. And you just hit them with your execute to finish them off. The other morph for this, I'll go let you know, is Daedric Prey. This will make your pets deal more damage to the person that's cursed. I'm sure that's probably good for a pet build. I don't run a pet build, so I don't know. I really haven't messed around with it that much. But anyway, I still like this curse better. It's really good. And now we got the Winged Twilight. Now, I have not messed around with the Winged Twilight that much, so I don't really have a preference on which morph I like better for it. Just by looking and what I've messed around with it that little bit, I like the Restoring Twilight a little bit better for the magic regeneration. But I guess the other one could be pretty cool because it'll heal you at low health. I just kind of like that. I just kind of like the one that gives you and your allies magic regeneration. I think that's pretty good. So we got Bound Aegis here. I've just been trying this out in PvE for dungeons and stuff. I'm guessing it's probably pretty good for that. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't done that many dungeons. PvP, Definitely not an ability for a magic Sorc, but this is definitely an ability you want if you're a stamina Sorc. If you're a stamina sorcerer, you'll want the other morph for this, which is bound armaments. It's going to give you increased stamina, and it's going to increase your heavy attack damage. This is very good for stamina builds. Very good. Definitely use this if you are a stamina build. Oh, also it does give you minor resolve. If you do get the magicka morph for this one, like I have, you get the extra spell resistance, but you won't get this with the stamina morph. So yes, Stam Sorc, get this. Now we get Conjured Ward, or Hardened Ward, as most people call it, because yeah, this is the ability that makes sorcerers really freaking tanky. Probably the tankiest class in PvP, and that's because this shield is insane. Now my shield is very small compared to other people because I don't have a whole lot of champion points to put into Bastion yet. I only got like 100 and something. But once I get a lot of champion points, I can put a lot more points into Bastion. This shield is going to be crazy. Plus you can stack this shield with Healing Ward, and you'll just have a huge shield. It's going to be hard for people to get through it. And the best part of this is that like Night Blades that go for heavy crit builds, they can't crit you with the damage shield up. Also for stamina sorcerers, because the only way they really get healing, which we'll go over in a minute, is through Surge, and they have to crit you, and they can't crit you without that up. So they won't really be able to heal as long as you got your shield up. It's very good ability. So next we're going to talk about the passives. Right here we got Rebate. Whenever one of your creatures are killed or unsummoned, you get magicka back. It's fine. It's not great. It's whatever. This one is good though. Power Stone. This is going to reduce the cost of ultimate abilities. This is very good. Especially really good if you go Werewolf on a stamina sorcerer, because, well, as we all know, that Werewolf ultimate costs a lot to get. So it's a very good ability, no matter what ultimate you're using. It's really good. Next we got Daedric Protection. This is also a pretty good ability. This is going to give you extra 20% health and stamina recovery when you have a Daedric summoning ability on your bar. Really good. This is good for either magicka and sorcerer, or stamina, because no matter what, you're going to want that stamina recovery so you can break free and dodge roll and stuff. And then we got Expert Summoner. This is just going to increase the strength of your summoned creatures. It's not bad. Pretty good. And then we got Storm Calling. Now this is a really good tree. And we're going to talk about Overload first, because this is also a very good ultimate. Now, I have a couple issues with this ultimate, but one big thing is this ultimate is very, very good in PvP. It's also very, very good in PvE. This thing hits hard just with light attacks. I mean, like I said before, I don't have... My stats aren't that great on my Sorc right now. I'm still working on it. And it still does 9,500 damage per light attack. That's crazy. Also, another good thing is this gives you a third bar. So once you hit Energy Overload, you have a completely separate bar that you can put different skills on. You can only put your Sorcerer skills on there. You can't put any weapon skills on there because you won't have that weapon out to activate them. But you can have a whole separate bar set up for energy or for overload. Definitely have the two morphs out of it. You want energy overload, power overload. Don't get it, don't care. Nobody cares about it. Just get energy overload. Now, a couple of issues I have with this though. One is that if you tap a light attack too quickly, it's gonna lock you into your heavy attack animation, and that sucks because your heavy attack is not very good on this thing. I mean, you can use it to get Night Blades out of stealth, I guess, but do you really want to use your ultimate to get a Night Blade out of stealth? That's kind of my big issue. It just really sucks in your middle of a fight and you get stuck in that animation, and then it could kind of get you killed because you're trying to stop it, and it's also just draining your ultimate cost on it since you're attacking with it technically. kind of a problem. I hope it gets fixed, because I think if it does, Overload will be extremely powerful, even though it's already really powerful right now as it is. So next we got Endless Fury. We got your Execute. Don't get Mage's Wrath. Get in the Endless Fury morph. This is going to give you Magicka back if you get a kill with it. And it's very hard not to get a kill with this. So basically you're caught on lightning. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it's going to place a debuff on them for 4 seconds. Where if they fall below 20% health, they're going to take additional damage. And that's a lot of damage. That's probably going to kill them, in all honesty. So this is very good. Definitely have to use this. If you're Execute, it's really good. Next we got Lightning Form. This is definitely a go-to ability for stamina sorcerers. This is going to give you Major Expedition. It's going to make you run faster. It's going to give you Major Resolve and Ward. It's going to make you tankier. And it's just a good utility skill. Next we got Liquid Lightning. This is a PvE ability. Don't use this in PvP. It's not very good. PvE, it's pretty good in PvE. You definitely want Liquid Lightning. Don't want Lightning Flood. At least from what I've seen and messed around with. I really like Liquid Lightning a lot better. Then we got Surge. So, this is a skill that both Stamina Sorcerers and Magicka Sorcerers will want. Well, Stamina Sorcerers definitely want this. Magicka Sorcerers can use this too. I'll go with the Magicka version first, which is Power Surge. This is going to give you Major Sorcery. So, this is basically like Entropy. If you're running a really high crit Sorc build, then I would probably suggest using this over Entropy, because this is going to heal you for your critical hits, which is nice. But Entropy also will give you the extra health, which is also nice, but not completely necessary, since most of your tankiness is just going to come from your shield. So I think either morph's fine. I think if you're going dual wield, I kind of like Entropy better. And if you're doing Destruction Staff, I would go Power Surge then, just because you'll be using light and attacks and stuff, and you can crit off that to get some extra healing. You don't really want to be using your light or heavy attacks or anything with dual wield. And then we got Crit Surge, which is this version you want to take if you're a Stamina Sorcerer. Have to have the skill. It's great. It's going to give you more healing on critical hits. And this ability combos very well with with the two-handed skill Crit Rush, because it guarantees a critical hit. And the best way to be able to use that to use Crit Rush reliably is with the skill Streak. This is a great Magicka skill and a great skill for stamina builds. This could be your escape ability on, well, either one, but this is also going to be really good for stunning, setting up your burst damage on your Magicka build, and this is going to be good for setting up your Crit Rush on stamina builds, because this is going to give you some distance, so you can use Crit Rush. Then we're going to talk about the passives here. We got Capacitor. It's going to increase your Magicka recovery, which is good. We got Energize, which I can't talk now. Increases the damage of strong calling abilities, which is also really good. You'll see a trend here on these strong calling passes. Disintegrate is going to give your shock spells a chance to disintegrate low health targets, which is also very good, and I mean very good. Then we got Expert Mage. It's going to increase your weapon and spell power by 2% for each sorcerer ability slotted. That's also really, really good. Stormcalling is definitely the skill tree you'll want to get to 50 as quickly as you can, because the passives in this are very, very good. Very good. So with that, I hope you all enjoyed. Those are my thoughts on the skills and passives for the Sorcerer class. Let me know what you think. Let me know if I got anything wrong. And please, give me more information on Sorcerers in PvP and PvE for dungeons and trials and stuff like that, because I would like to learn a little bit more about that. I mostly play PvP, but I do still enjoy the dungeons and stuff in the game. So anything like that would be helpful. So hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, let me know down in the comment section if I missed anything or if you have anything to add. if you would like to see Templar or Nightblade next, just let me know which one y'all would rather see first. And hope you have a great day. Remember to have fun.